There you go. All right, so new episode. In the last episode, we worked on getting our villagers, created the little houses. So this is our trading kind of market area. And my mic cut in and out while I was doing this episode, so this is going to be more or less like a recap. And it was a lot of running around. So I got my first villager, and I decided since I couldn't find a second one that I'd hop on my horse to go to the village that's by the cedar forest. But here's a better view, so you can kind of see that little area. It's starting to shape up. I still gotta do some dirt work, but let's go ahead and head to that village. And yeah, it'll take a long time, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut to being there. All right, so I finally got to a village, but I didn't realize I was gonna have to leave my horse here. So I have to come back for him because I'm gonna be pulling in a boat or riding in a boat. So I said my final goodbyes, and then I went off to start raiding the village. Found a lot of food, not really anything else. A couple emeralds, and then I decided while I found all this hay, I'm gonna take it and trade it back to them. So I went find a farmer, and well, more hay first, but then I found some farmers and I went and traded it for emeralds. So I got a bunch of emeralds, trading back their own hay. And then since I was taking one of their people, I decided I would just give some bread back so they could breed and produce another one. I figure it's just like take one from the population, add one to the population. You know, it's a net zero. I finally dropped the boat in front of a house and I managed to get a villager, but it was getting stuck on the path and all that. And so I had to chop up the dirt and make a path to where I could pull the boat in the water and then hop in. Hopped in with him, and then we started our journey. And I used the waterways with my coordinates to find a way back to my village. It was kind of at this point I realized, hey, this is so far, and this is going to be such a crazy journey, or it's already been. So to get him out the boat and everything is going to be even harder. I think at this point we're going to end up just breeding the villagers so that we can have more instead of making multiple trips. But little did I know, it's not going to be that easy. It would have been easier going back and forth getting four people. So once I get back to my base, I went ahead and just broke the boat. I figured he's going to walk on land, and maybe I can push him or get him to go where I want. He ended up going straight for the house, and it's not even dark yet. I thought I was going to have to throw another boat and stop him, but he took the job right away with the blast furnace. And I tried pushing him and moving him around. Eventually, I had to end up kind of closing it in with some dirt and getting him to kind of stay in his little spot before I decided to go get some bread and stuff to be able to breed him up with another villager, or with my first villager that I have. So before I set these guys free to do start breeding, I realized I need to close this off and make it kind of one. So I'm gonna connect the two houses, make like a front yard, and connect the two in the back. That way they can't get out, and we can just kind of breed them in here. I just need to throw a bed in between the two houses. Now that that's all done and they're stuck in there, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw them some bread, and oh, my bad, and they should be good to go. So I gave them a bunch of bread. It seemed like they were taking it, but nothing was happening. I wasn't sure what was going on. I ran out, had to go get some more, come back, give them some more bread, and then finally the heart started showing. There we go. So that means they're breeding. So I tried looking away and stuff, and all of a sudden, boom, he just appeared. There's our third villager. Little did I know this guy was going to cause so many problems. So I went back to go get some more bread because it seemed like no matter how much bread I gave them, they kept like they ate it, but they weren't making more villagers, and I need four. So honestly, by this time in my little time lapse, little fast forward, and you can see he's trying to jump over the wall off of the bed. But by this time, I could have went and picked up two more villagers. But anyway, I kept just going because this is a learning experience. So learning to make bread and all that stuff and time management and everything, I just was, just learning as I go. So also something I did was, oh, and as you can see right here, this is my first mistake. He hopped out. I couldn't figure out what was going on and how he got out. And then there it was. He climbed through the window. So he was hopping in and out of the windows. I didn't know that the baby villager could go in and out of little 1 block holes. So then I had to kind of remake the area. And even when he went in here, blocking him in was like a challenge. And he disappeared. So I did all this work, and then he disappeared a little bit later. Like, again, I didn't understand he needed to be like with his parents as he grows up or something like that. I don't know. I ran into all kinds of issues. Look, you can see he's finally back in. But when I was talking about disappearing, that happens later. So a little bit later he disappears, and I think mainly because I took his bed. But look, hopped out again. This guy was so quick. So I chased him around. I tried to get him in a boat. He wouldn't get in a boat. I had to add a bunch of dirt and stuff, try to trap him in this house. And just as I thought I had him, when I come around, you notice he's not even there. He already jumped out the other window and was waiting around the corner. So I had to try to get him to run back around the corner and into the other house. And finally, I got him to go back into the main house. But what I forgot was I had already took his bed. So you can see him running back right here. Hops back on the block. But already took his bed. And I forgot. So he had nowhere to stay. I don't know. This was super confusing. And it was a lot of running around. Alright, so then I had to go back farming again for more bread. This was getting ridiculous at this point. I could have probably got the whole village from that other village and brought him back by this time. Alright, so I started feeding him more bread. Let's get our 4th villager. But at this point, I forgot I took the bed away. So they can't even make another one. So I'm wasting all this bread. I think I do this 2 or 3 times before I realize I have to put another bed in there for them to make another villager. When this guy finally got him trapped in there with some wooden fences. So while I was waiting, I started doing some trades to get my guy up from apprentice to expert or master. I think master is the final level. And so you can see every bundle of 31 sticks I traded him, I would get an emerald. And I figured out a faster way to end up doing it later. You click the left and then click the emerald. But I did this over and over and just traded him up or bartered with him. I'm not sure what you call it. Until he went up a level and then also worked on the other guy. So my armor was a little more work. It took more emeralds to get pieces, and then I'd have to go melt it down, and I'd have, iron. But I would run out of sticks, so then I would head to my spruce trees that I planted, and I'd have to chop them down. And so I would chop all these trees down, make a bunch of sticks, and then go back. And this time when I headed back, an iron golem, I'm not sure, but he spawned. So I was like, man, that's cool. So he's kind of protecting the guys. He also causes trouble and spawns all kinds of different places that I have to rework the dirt and everything. But as you can see, he's moved up to a journeyman now. He's went from apprentice to journeyman. And so he still has some good trades, but I have so many sticks. I'm just doing sticks for emeralds right now. I'm just making it easy. There you go. You can see the fast way. Just click it, and if you hold down shift when you click the emerald, it goes straight into your inventory. And of course, then I'd go to my armor where he was still a novice. And again, it takes so long to get those emeralds. I can only do 1 or 2 trades with him. And before I could, I'd run out of emeralds. I have to go back and trade more sticks. Then I'd run out of sticks. I'd have to go back to my spruce trees and chop them down again. And I use bone meal to make them grow faster, but I would chop it down. I really should have just chopped down like 10 trees and had it done with, but yeah, I just went back and forth. Of course, this episode is all over the place, and yeah, a lot of chopping, making bread, and trading. Since we were on our last villager, I made this extra wall going to the last little trading hut, and I had to go back and forth so many times to take the armor I got, melt it down, and I made a blast furnace, and later I'll make a second one just to be able to cook this faster. The blast furnace is definitely worth it. I'm going to have to make more of those so that I can cook everything like extra fast. But I would melt it all down into an iron nugget, and then once I was done with the iron nuggets, I would make like an iron ingot. But as you can see right here, this is the point when I finally figure out you have to have a bed for them to make another villager. So we finally got our 4th villager, but everything is sealed. So all I gotta do is wait for him to grow up. Once it's nighttime, I just block him in his little villager hut, and then we have all four. But once again, we gotta chop down trees so that we can make our trades with our Fletcher to get more emeralds, to get our armor leveled up, so that we can get to diamond armor and diamond tools, and be able to just go in the nether. And if something happens, we can just go to our guys, grab some more gear, and then head back in. I don't have to go to the mine to get more diamonds or get more gear. Or at least it's less diamonds I have to get. So finally, our villager grew up, but I noticed he was just standing there. He wasn't laying in the bed. And that's mainly because I think it's too small. Like he couldn't get in it. So I ended up breaking his house apart, reworking it. As you can see right here, he's getting up, laying down once I get rid of this cobblestone. So we got our four villagers. That's the ones I needed for our tools, for our armor, and the Fletcher so that we can get emeralds. And that's it. So we're pretty much done with this area. Everything, is gonna look good. I'll show you in a second what the final product. And so now we can just begin working on taking our next trip into the Nether. All right, this is the last couple blocks. We got those away. Now you can finally see the area. Um, I still have a bunch of sticks I need to trade, but he's not trading with me just yet. You can only do so many, and then they stop trading. Finally, I decided, hey, look, I'm gonna kind of fill in this area. So I went ahead and fixed the landscape a little bit more. Just I'm slowly doing it. I'm slowly gonna get it together. We can't do everything at once. I don't have the time, but I got most of it done right here, and I think it looks really good. All right, so that's it. That's the end of this episode. I know it was all over and a recap, and the deal with my with my mic, like it's super frustrating. But this is the area, finally close to what I want it to look like, and then we have our four villagers, and yeah. So I'm pretty happy that we got to this point. Of course, the aesthetics need to go up, but thanks for bearing with me and taking this journey with me. So until next time, I'll see you on the next episode whenever we head out to the Nether.